Hi, this is Kieran for Getting Our Shit Together, also known as GOST. Today we're going to be talking about the serious and important topic of ethics, my personal ethics and the ethics of this channel going forward. Obviously on this channel we are discussing dating and lifestyle, predominantly dating to begin with. So we really need to get across to you, the YouTube audience, and the bosses at YouTube as well, our commitment to consent around this topic. Now, obviously, we're talking about fairly controversial things. I don't know why it really is controversial. I mean, guys should be able to go up and attract women, and currently not enough men in society can do that. So we're going to give maybe men who have traditionally been a little bit more shy, have had a little less success in this area than they might have done. We're going to be giving them the tools to hopefully go up and attract a girl and eventually end up with a beautiful wife and beautiful kids. That's what we're looking to do on this channel. So I'm going to run through what we're going to be covering in this video. Again, commitment to consent is going to sort of be the thread line running through this entire thing. We're going to be talking about whether pickup is okay to do. Is it a morally okay thing to be going out and doing? What's the correct mindset when you're engaging in trying to hook up with girls and that sort of thing. We're going to be talking about the encouragement from a girl as you go forward in interactions with women. And we're going to be looking at pickup as a tool and our commitment to YouTube, the audience, and like I say, the bosses at YouTube as well. And so let's get into it a little bit. So again, going back to consent, I think the mindset there is that, I mean, personally, I would never want to do anything with a girl, sexually or otherwise, that she wasn't completely committed to. I mean, I just sort of breaking it down to the bare bones of it, I personally wouldn't be able to get aroused in that situation if a girl wasn't completely comfortable and a willing participant. I presume you're probably the same. But such is the nature of the things that we need to cover this. So, I mean, that's consent. I don't really know what else I can say on that other than that we hammer it. I mean, look for consent in the girl. Otherwise, that's rape, isn't it? Do you want to be known as a rapist? Of course you don't. I mean, I feel a little bit like I'm insulting your intelligence by even mentioning it, but such is life. We've got to cover our bases here. So, is pickup okay? Is it morally acceptable thing to do? I would say yes, of course it is. Of course you can go up to women that you don't know and start a conversation with them. That's fine. And if they ask you to leave, consent to that and leave. We on this channel, we advise going out to clubs. Obviously we're in quarantine lockdown at the moment, so it's not, or that's slightly lifting now, but that's not a massive option right yet. But in normal times, going to a club is a great way to meet women because there's a tacit understanding that the people there, though they might have boyfriends, not every girl in the club is there to be picked up. Some have boyfriends, obviously, or just otherwise engaged. But it's a tacit agreement that this is an environment where people can come together and try and attract members of the opposite sex. So that's a good place to go and do pickup or try and attract a member of the opposite sex. We on this channel, we're getting away from the classic terrible PR that pickup has had, the sort of tricks-based mindset, using negs, using little games, little tricks to try and attract women, because fundamentally, more than anything else, we don't think they work long term. The best thing that you can do is become the type of man that's just naturally attractive. So that means being a leader, being a man of worth, achieving something, contributing something, being physically fit, making yourself as physically attractive as you can do. That's our mindset going forward. And obviously there's an intricacy there as well. It's not all just stand up straight and be a man. There's a dance to romance as well. There's and like when we talk about things like eye contact, tonality, stuff like that all comes into it. What's the correct mindset? I mean, we touched on this already. I think that you should be the consent of the girl is at the forefront of your mind at all times. You are going out and you're going out to have fun. It's called the game, as we always say. It's not called the work. So it's a fun, enjoyable pursuit. You're going to run into people who are rude, and that's fine. That's just an energy that you just distance yourself from, would be the best way I could put it. So if you come up to someone who just doesn't want you anywhere near them, that's fine. Just simply walk away and go and talk to the next person. Obviously in this channel, we're going to be getting into things like how to escalate with a girl physically. A lot of guys don't know that already, so we're going to have to tell them how to do that. So things like when you're look for signs of encouragement from the girl. Like, that can be obvious to some people, but to others it's not. So things like if you're going to lean in and kiss a girl, just maybe lean in 80% of the way and let her come the rest of the way, or 90% of the way, something like that. Look for signs that she is encouraging you. Oftentimes, especially if it's a really, really, really attractive girl, you're not going to get a huge amount of signs from her. But things like her just merely staying in your presence where she could go off and do something else. Sometimes that can be a sign as well. So it can be very subtle, but look for those signs of encouragement from the girl as well. And if you're not getting any, I would be questioning whether she wants to proceed. So that's something to bear in mind. And again, we're always looking for consent on this channel, and you should be as well. Anytime you're sort of seriously, we use this word seriously, asked to leave. So there's a tonal thing going on there, right? Sometimes a girl can be playing with you and be like, get out of here, like that. If you say a jokey remark to her, obviously that doesn't really mean she wants you to leave. But if she says something like, no, please just leave me alone, you can hear the seriousness in the tone. That's time to leave. Okay, that's the distinction we make there. Talking about pickup as a tool. So there's a sort of classic phrase, one man's tool is another man's weapon. So yeah, I mean, we could be empowering the wrong sort of person if we teach them this. But my caveat to that is, rapists and the guys that we all hate and we all collectively say are pieces of shit, I don't think they're watching pickup videos to learn how to get women for themselves. They sort of just go out and do that. The sort of guys that we're talking to are guys who are less confident, a little bit more shy, maybe haven't had success in this area before, and we want to give them the tools. These are, for the most part, lovely, genuine guys. These are the developers and the nerds, and I use that word with full of respect. But these are the guys who are building out our future. I mean, this is a bit of a tangent, but I mean, people who are building computer software, building computer hardware, that's the boom of our modern day society, right? That's what's growing. That's the people who are building out this future. And currently a lot of them suck with women, basically, in the best possible way. And we think it would be great if we were able to give them the tools to go out and meet a woman. I mean, they're building out our future. Shouldn't we allow them to be able to get some pleasure out of women as well? Obviously with consent in mind too there as well. Talking about our commitment to YouTube. YouTube, we want to be like little prefects on your platform here. We're looking to observe your terms of service at all times. We're never going to be talking about anything criminal or immoral. We know that this can be a slightly controversial topic. We want to bring pickup up for air. We want to say, yes, look, we know it's cringy, but it's something that a lot of guys need to learn, because otherwise they're just going to struggle for the rest of their life in this really important aspect of their life. So yeah, I mean, you guys in the comments, if you ever think we've said anything untoward or something that can be misconstrued to not be putting enough emphasis on consent or on how the girl's feeling, let us know and we'll address it. We'll edit videos, or we'll put out a video to address your specific concerns. So we're here to work with you, the audience, and certainly here to work with you, the bosses at YouTube. And so yeah, that's it really. We've hammered that point about consent. We've talked about a pickup, the sort of pickup that we want to talk about going forward, where it's about becoming a man, learning the sort of intricacies, learning that dance of romance, learning that dance of how to become an attractive person. We've talked about the correct mindset, the mindset that I inhabit when we go out, and that you should as well. Excuse me. We've talked about looking for little signs of encouragement from the girl. Sometimes it's going to be very subtle, sometimes it's going to be more overt, but you want to look for those signs, and you're probably not on a great footing if you don't see them. Okay, so then, and we've talked about encouragement from the girl in that way. We've talked about whether the tonality of being asked to seriously leave versus jokingly being asked to leave. We've talked about pick up as a tool. We've spoken about our commitment to YouTube, you guys, the community, and also the bosses at YouTube. And I've given my personal sort of ethics in this video, and also my belief of why I want to help these guys, these nerdy guys who are building out our futures. I work in tech. I work with a lot of these guys, and for the most part, they're truly lovely, wonderful guys who just don't have these tools to go out and get women. And a lot of them are incels, and which means involuntary celibate. It seems to me like the sexes have never been further apart than they are at the moment, and I think it'd be good if we could bring them closer back together. So that's it. And again, I'm just going to say one more final time, our emphasis is always going to be on consent from the girl. Always be looking for that. And I hope that you can take something from this video, and I hope that sort of encapsulates everything that we want to say about ethics. Thanks very much for listening. Cheers. Bye.